everyone, I'm Mrs. Midnight, and tonight we have our coffee cup ready because Christmas is coming and I bring you a countdown of the Hogwarts Mystery events dedicated to this season, from the worst to the best. Although in all honesty, I must say that for me none of the Hogwarts Mystery Christmas events qualifies as bad per se, because unlike some of the Halloween events that don't feel so much of that season, with the Christmas ones, besides having a well-developed story in general and getting to know the characters better, the ones that are involved in every event, one thing I definitely would rescue about all of them is that they keep the Christmas spirit, the essence of the season, and no matter what character or circumstance protagonizes the event, it doesn't stop feeling Christmassy or contributing to the holiday spirit.
Silent night, holy night.
So without further ado, if you're cold like me, go get something warm to drink and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it's time to see the 7th place of the Christmas events in our favorite games. Christmas in Hogwarts. This event appears in first year and is the first Christmas event that you can unlock in the game. The event takes place when you spend Christmas in Hogwarts like you usually do, but much to his surprise, so does Charlie. Because he fractures something accidentally, I don't remember if an arm or a leg, but he fractures something, and Professor Snape determines that he cannot travel in that condition, so he has to stay in the school infirmary. You help Charlie finish some errands that he had pending in Hogsmeade, and besides him you get to spend time with others of your friends like Tulip, Ben and Barnaby, not to mention teachers like Snape, McGonagall and Dumbledore, and Merula, who also spends the holidays in Hogwarts, but later on you learn that the reason for this is that her parents are in Azkaban, and she doesn't see the reason to go to an empty house to spend the holidays alone. You invite her to spend the Christmas dinner with you and your friends, and although she declines the invitation because she wants to be alone, she still feels and appreciates your affection and empathy when you listen to her. The price for completing this event is a Christmas outfit, and although as I mentioned in the intro, I do not think any Christmas event in Hogwarts Mystery is bad, this one is in the bottom of the countdown because, given the fact that the books and the movies already introduce the concept of the students that have to stay in the school for holidays, the event feels a little generic, like it doesn't bring anything new to the table about the magical world or Christmas in it, but I would still rescue about it that you get to know several characters better, and despite Charlie's circumstances being far from ideal, you manage to give him a Merry Christmas as well. Christmas in the Weasleys den that you unlock in second year. On this event, Charlie Weasley invites you to spend the holidays with him and his family, probably as a consequence of you helping him in the previous event when he couldn't travel. And during this quest, you get to spend one-on-one time with several of the Weasleys, learning their favorite parts of this season. You, for example, learn that Molly loves to cook dinner and share it with her family, that Arthur loves the combination of Muggle and magical traditions, and for the twins, how strange, their favorite part are Christmas pranks. Your prize for completing this event is a snowball with the Weasleys card. Winter with the Weasleys that you unlock in second year. This time Bill is depressed because he's not going to be able to see all his family for Christmas, and therefore MC and the Weasley brothers start thinking of ways to cheer him up. During the preparations for the Christmas dinner, Merula gets invited with the Weasleys as well, and when Molly Weasley gives her a present same as she does with you, this doesn't only surprise her because she wasn't expecting one since she was invited in the very last minute, but also because it reminds her of the warmth of the Christmas spirit and makes her realize that despite her habit of isolating herself during this season, this year it was worth it to not do it. And I want to mention that the reason why the Weasley events are so close to each other in the countdown is because, although this does not make them bad events, they are so similar to each other that other than the presence of Merula in one of them, it's a little hard to tell them apart.
Squeeze me? Oh no, you did.
Festivities in Hogwarts that you unlock in year 2. On this event, for different reasons, your friends' plans for Christmas get frustrated, including Merula that had plans to go ice skating, but although I don't remember the reason right now, she cannot go out of Hogwarts after all, and therefore her skating plans threaten to be cancelled. But when you notice the frustration not only of her but also of Penny and other ones of your friends, you decide to collaborate with your friends and the school personnel to create a winter paradise that brings everyone joy. So you make hot chocolate for the ones that need a relief from the cold, like me or Penny, but you also make an ice skating rink for the more active ones like Merula. And one thing I love about this event is that the school personnel does not only help you to create a winter paradise, but also enjoy it with you and your friends. And I think a very valuable lesson that this event teaches is that it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, your birthday, or whatever time of the year, even if your plans get frustrated, as long as there is someone that cares about you having a good time, it's still possible to have it. And your prize for completing the event, by the way, is a neat sweater that Dumbledore gives you. Christmas spirits that you unlock in year 2. In this event, nearly beheaded Nick is disappeared from Hogwarts, nowhere to be seen, and therefore Dumbledore and McGonagall consider cancelling the festivities to go look for him. To prevent this from happening, you offer to help find him, and when you find Nick, you discover that the reason why he disappeared was that he had a fight with the Bloody Baron because Nick wanted to celebrate Christmas and he had plans for the ghosts. But the Bloody Baron, who is my favorite ghost, but in this event, seriously, he overdid with the bitterness, decides to convince the other ghosts like Moaning Myrtle and Professor Beans that Christmas is only for the living and it's a stupidity for ghosts to celebrate it. So you help Nick convince Professor Beans and Myrtle to attend the celebration by showing Beans that many of the ancient traditions that he prefers are still present nowadays. And with Myrtle, you help her remember her last Christmas when she was still living, which happened around World War II. So after remembering, you help her understand the difference between Christmas as she recalls it and Christmas nowadays. The last ghost that you have to convince, of course, is the Bloody Baron, and when you try to talk to him, you learn that the reason why he doesn't like to hang out with humans so much is that he gets sad that the humans that he spends time with are not going to be alive forever.
Up, 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 up. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, how does the rest of that go?
And although I can empathize with him and I would like to hug him, but I can't because he's a ghost, you still try to convince him that despite this, it's still worth it to spend as much time as you can with people and enjoy it while it lasts, but he still refuses to go. So you have to resort to Professor Snape that takes the stance of, you know what, to hell with this, either he celebrates Christmas with us or I fire him from being the ghost of the house. That I didn't know you could fire a ghost, and I still am not sure that's possible, but I guess Professor Snape can do whatever he wants. But at any rate, Professor Snape reminds him that it's part of his duties as the ghost of the house to lift the spirits of the students. And you make him see that there are several students in Slytherin that have made him proud throughout the years, and that even outside the Slytherin house there are several students that it would be worth it to spend time with. The prize for completing the event, if I remember right, is an outfit, and I want to say that partly the reason why this event is the first to make it to the first places is that Hogwarts Mystery gives a voice to several ways to spend the holidays for people, but this event in particular brings a new and very interesting concept, and this is that the joy, love and fate of holidays and Christmas should not be restricted only to the living because it can transcend life and death, and it does all the time. I mean, obviously in the Muggle world we do not spend time with ghosts as you do in Hogwarts, or at least not as easily, I would think. But in this world I still have seen several people, and I think I have done it a couple times now that I think of it, that for example you have a relative or a friend or a significant other that's no longer in this world, and you take a photo of them to wherever you are going for the holidays for them to be with you. And so far I had thought of these traditions or gestures as something more for the living person, you know, to have that special someone nearby you even if they are not in this world anymore. But now that I think of it, what if it's also something nice to do for the person that's passed away? Who knows, maybe the spirit is also receiving the gesture, and maybe thanks to that they are also having a Merry Christmas and you don't even know. If you are liking this countdown so far, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload the second half, where we will talk about the first places of the top. And a special thank you to Ander Reynosa Game, whose clips that he lent me from his gameplay made it possible for Mrs. Midnight to release this Christmas special on December and not January of next year. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out his channel, and remember that Mrs. Midnight loves you and hopes to see you next time. Until very soon.